Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to PMDC Online Lecture Room of Chemistry for Grade 12. Today the topic of our lecture is halogens, which is taken from Chemistry second year textbook, Chapter 13, S and P block elements. It is very important topic from examination point of view as MCQs and short question has been asked in bias Peshawar year 2010, 2013, 2015 and 2017. The learning outlines of today's lecture are that we will have a brief introduction of halogens, their trends in physical properties, bond enthalpies of halogens and hydrogen halides, halogens as oxidizing agents, halides as reducing agents, and finally assignment. So dear students, let's have a brief introduction of halogens. Halogens are elements of group 7th of periodic table. They are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. Among them, astatine is radioactive element. They are called halogens because of their salt-forming tendency. So let's discuss general properties of halogens that are they have 7 electrons in their outer shells. They exist as separate diatomic molecules. They are colored, non-metals, do not conduct electricity, never found free in nature because of their reactivity. They are poisonous and toxic. So let's discuss electronic configuration of halogens that are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. Here you will notice that all of them have 7 electrons in their valence shell like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So we can say that characteristic feature being S2P5 in the outermost shell. As far as appearance is concerned, fluorine is pale yellow gas, chlorine is pale green gas, bromine is orange brown liquid, iodine exists as gray-black crystals, while astatine is black solid. Now we will discuss that how do halogen molecules exist. All halogen atoms require one more electron to obtain a full outer shell to become stable. So each atom can achieve this by sharing one electron with another atom to form a single covalent bond. Here you can see the formation of fluorine molecule. So all halogens exist as diatomic molecules. Now we will discuss the physical properties of halogens. The first one is the trend in atomic radius. Here you can see in the monoatomic as well as diatomic form that the atomic radius of halogens increases from top to bottom in the periodic table. So here we can see that from fluorine to iodine, there is a steady increase in the atomic radius. This is because of increase in the number of shells down the group. Next is trends in electronegativity. The electronegativity of an element is a measure of the power of attraction of an atom for a shared pair of electrons in a covalent bond. Here you can see the electronegativity of group 7 elements. That is, fluorine has highest electronegativity, that is 4, and iodine has the lowest one, that is 2.5. Here you can see that there is a steady decrease in the electronegativity of the group 7 elements from top to bottom. Next, we will discuss trends in electron affinity. Electron affinity is defined as the amount of energy released when an electron is added in the outermost shell of an isolated gaseous atom. Here you can see the electron affinity of halogens. The electron affinity of halogens decreases down the group with the exception of fluorine. Here you can see that the electron affinity from chlorine to iodine decreases. But fluorine is an exception that has fluorine electron affinity is lower than chlorine. It is because of the small size of fluorine. That is, small size fluorine atom makes 2p subshell more compact. This results in repulsion among electrons of the valence shell and also with electron to be added. Due to this, fluorine atom has little tendency to accept electron. And also because of small size, there is higher electron density around nucleus. This high electron density screens the nucleus. Because of this, effective nuclear charge gets decreased. Hence, electron is having less attraction. Next is trends in melting and boiling points. The melting and boiling points increases down the group in group 7th of periodic table. The reason is that halogen molecules increases in size down the group. This leads to greater van der Waals forces between molecules, increasing the energy needed to separate the molecules and therefore higher melting and boiling points. Here there is a comparison between fluorine and iodine. Fluorine having smaller size has less van der Waals forces as compared to iodine, which due to larger size has greater van der Waals forces. So as a result, boiling point of fluorine is less than boiling point of iodine. Now we will discuss the bond enthalpy. It is the amount of heat needed to break 1 mole of covalent bonds to form individual atoms. Here you can see the cleavage of chlorine molecule into chlorine atoms. To cleave this bond, 58 kilocalories per mole must be added. So let's discuss bond enthalpy in halogens. Bond enthalpy is inversely proportional to bond length. As bond length increases, bond enthalpy decreases. So in halogens, bond enthalpy decreases down the group. The reason is, as halogen atom gets bigger down the group, the bonding pair electrons get more and more distant from the nucleus. So attraction becomes less and the bond becomes weaker. So less amount of energy is required to break the bond. But here there is an exception of fluorine. In case of fluorine, because of small size, there is more repulsion between fluorine atoms. Bond length is less, so it is unstable. Hence, bond dissociation energy is less in case of fluorine. Now we will discuss bond enthalpies of hydrogen halides. Bond enthalpies of hydrogen halides decreases down the group except fluorine. Here you can see that as bond length increases, bond energy decreases. So it means that hydrogen iodide is less stable. It is easily decomposed into its components by plunging a red hot wire into test tube of gas. Hydrogen bromide may or may not decompose depending on the exact temperature of wire, while hydrogen fluoride and hydrogen chloride are very stable to heat and do not decompose. Dear students, here you have noticed the abnormal behavior of fluorine from other members of the halogen family. This is due to the small size and high electronegativity of fluorine and also non-availability of d orbitals in fluorine as compared to the other members of halogen family. Now we will discuss halogens as oxidizing agents, which is very important. The substances which oxidizes other substances by accepting their electrons and itself becomes reduced is called oxidizing agent. And halogens are very strong oxidizing agents. Here you can see the trend of the oxidizing ability of the halogens, that down the group oxidizing ability is decreasing and also decreasing its reactivity. It means that fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent. The oxidizing power of halogens can also be measured from its standard reduction potential, which shows that fluorine is the best oxidizing agent because it has more reduction potential, that is, more ability to lose electrons. So here we will discuss the oxidizing ability of chlorine with metals. When halogens combine with a metal, they normally act as oxidizing agents. So here in the given reaction, when chlorine combine with metal like sodium, it accepts electron from it, forming an ionic compound and acts as oxidizing agent. Chlorine, as chlorine is more reactive as compared to bromine and iodine, it can oxidize both bromide and iodide ions. So when chlorine gas is passed through potassium iodide solution, the solution becomes brown. This is due to formation of iodine. In this reaction, the chlorine acts as oxidizing agent and accepts electron from iodide ion, while iodide ion acts as reducing agent and gives electron to chlorine. Now we will discuss the halides as reducing agents. Reducing agents are those which reduce other substances by giving its electrons and itself becomes oxidized. And halides are strong reducing agents. The reducing ability of the halides ion increases down the group. The reason is that its outermost electrons are further from the attraction of the nucleus and more shielded from it by other electrons. So the attraction for the outermost electrons is therefore weaker as we go down the group. So now we discuss the reduction of sulfuric acid by bromide ion. In this reaction, bromide ion reduces sulfuric acid to sulfur dioxide. There is decrease of oxidation state of sulfur from +6 in sulfuric acid to +4 in sulfur dioxide, while oxidation state of bromide changes from -1 to 0. So bromide ion is oxidized and sulfuric acid is reduced in this reaction. An orange-brown color appears due to the formation of bromine. Next is the reduction of sulfuric acid by iodide ion. In this reaction, iodide ion reduces sulfuric acid to H2S. The oxidation state of sulfur changes from +6 to -2. It is reduced, while iodide ion is oxidized by change in oxidation of -1 to 0. So dark purple color appears, showing presence of iodine. So here's a very important question, that why halogens are so reactive. The answer is that as they require one electron to complete its valence shell, so they can easily gain one electron by reacting with another atom. They have high electronegativity, they have high electron affinity, and have low dissociation energy. Because of these reasons, halogens are reactive. Let's discuss the acidity of hydrogen halides. According to the Bronsted concept, acids are proton donors and bases are proton acceptors. Here you can see the reaction of HCl with water. In the above reaction, HCl gives proton to water and form hydronium and chloride ion. The reaction shows that HCl is completely dissociated in water and is a strong acid. Hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide also dissociate in water in the same way as HCl. Hydrogen fluoride also dissolves in water, but it is a weak acid. It is because that of high bond dissociation energy and hydrogen bonding among hydrogen fluoride molecules, as hydrogen is entrapped between two fluorine atoms. The trends in acidic strength is that hydrogen iodide is the strongest acid while hydrogen fluoride is the weakest acid. So dear students, here there is an assignment for you. You can check out your understanding by trying to answer this assignment. I hope this video will be helpful for you. Take care and thank you.